Yeah, I'm ready. What you know about that?
Oh, that's for real, ain't it?
No, for real, man. One of his many hits. He always got some smooth,
He grew up in that funk household.
He has a little soft.
No,
He had that soft voice, but ladies love that for one, and he makes some hits.
He wanted to be like a Lou Rawls, a deep voice brother, but he couldn't do it. He's always up here. He's like,
you trying to make fun of me too?
I would be a star.
All of us can't have deep voices, brother. You got to come out. I can't do that shit.
All right, this is smoking all them cigars, man. That's all it is.
Well, you go ahead and keep that deep voice then.
You ain't supposed to inhale. I inhale.
How's your lungs?
They for
You run down the street. Hey, if you ever get chased, I hope you can make it.
Oh, I can make it.
Because ain't no time
as long as if it's more than 100 yards,
You may be in trouble.
But I'm gonna get away within that 100 yards.
Yeah,
I could move a little bit.
That's just a thought.
Everything gonna fall apart afterwards.
Yeah,
when I calm down, I'm gonna pull hamstrings.
You're gonna have an Achilles situation.
I'm gonna need a transplant of some sort. I don't know what organ.
You gonna hear clear plasma. Well, this is Fred Potter on Just a Thought.
Amaru.
Welcome. Thank you for listening. Hey, much respect to you last week, all the work you did on the new YouTube.
We have a YouTube page. You know you have 2 YouTube pages?
I had no idea. I'm not, I have.
Yeah, I still have to do some research in order to how to pull up the other one.
Yeah.
I'm like, how's this shit? They not connect, but he got.
I don't know, but it was cool, man, because I looked on my phone and I seen it, and I ain't gonna lie, the shock of that picture shocked the hell out of me. New rule. At least let me see the shit first. you did like a boomerang, like when she said, "What is it like? What's the commercial like?"
Hey, when it came,
I don't know. You knew I'd like it. Though.
When it came,
you knew I'd like it.
When it came, I looked at it and was like, "Damn."
That's what I said.
Right, because it's different. I'm used to seeing that one right there.
Yeah, look just like me.
And so
this one is very abstract.
I had to remember as an artist myself, there are different type of caricature drawers. There are different forms of formats, and some look
over exaggerated.
Right,
so
strategically
look like I'm in people's windows.
But if you used to looking at something, then something is gonna be different.
Like
you always have the same shit.
Right, I look like I killed 3 dogs and a couple of people.
But it made people respond.
It did too, and I like the idea of the fact it's just a thought gonna be
put
it
in the head, put it in the head, because that's when after about 3 seconds of looking, I was like, ooh, it'd be perfect to put just a thought in that big ass head. Bam.
See what you just said?
But it's cool.
Right on, man. Remember that rule. No, man, it's all good, man. You compliment me well, and that's why we look out for each other.
Yeah, man. You saved the weekend, man.
Right now, though,
all kind of shit fell apart.
I know you in a good project. You in the mode of doing that. Your soundtrack and all your scores and all that, man. And, just 2 reasons why I did it, because I believe in your project. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking about some electronic equipment. So he asked to borrow my mixer, and I said, this is going to be a long project you're doing. And so I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and set you up with what you need. And I didn't want you to fuck up my mixer, because whatever you did to yours, I didn't want to happen to mine.
It served its purpose. It was already fucked up when I bought it.
Right.
They had never tested it.
Right.
But it was for $125, and mine had just blown up, which I had for a long time. So I was like, fuck it, I'll take it. It served its purpose, but it was just everything that could happen wrong went wrong.
Yeah, but it was my pleasure, man. You did a lot of work for the podcast last week, and I know I did the ribs. I didn't tell you this though. Friday when I got to work, I got some cereal, and I put the ribs in the refrigerator about 11 o'clock, and that's 11 p.m. Hey. So in the morning I was gonna chop them up because I thought they'd be cool enough to chop up. You gotta let them sit, let them cool out, But it wasn't really cool. So I didn't think nothing about it. And I got to work and I had my little cereal, I had my my cornflakes, and my milk was kind of warm. So I'm like, man, my refrigerator doing some trippy shit again, So I got a little paranoid and I got mad because I'm like, all those ribs I did, I can't serve my man those ribs and the chicken I made and all that. 3 slabs of ribs, that's a lot of money, and I put a lot of preparation, and I thought I put my foot in this batch too, because I thought
they all gone.
Right. So anyway, hold that thought though. So I I call the repair people. I implore people that don't have consumers power, consumers energy, get their appliance repaired. It's about $50 a month. They repair everything for free. If it's something that they have to replace, they'll put some on it. They ain't gonna pay nothing. They ain't gonna give you nothing free. But as far as the new, but they'll repair it for free, no cost. So we came out anyway because I already had to call in. They came out the same day, and he gave me some pointers on you clean your refrigerator. You got to clean that shit good. You got to get down there and let that vacuum suck real good. You can't just give it a quick little. You got to let that motherfucker just go.
Leaking inside, sweating and shit.
Yeah, you got to, they'll work for you. You take care of it, it'll take care of you. But long story short, I thought I had to throw away a bunch of food, and I didn't have to do that. The refrigerator was fine when I got home. What happened was I think it was so humid out Friday morning when I was on the way to work, the milk just got a little warmer in the vehicle.
Yeah, it was hot.
And the ribs was just still hot. And they absorbed all that air, that cold air. So it was weird, man. But when I got home for lunch, I got home an hour and a half later, about 8:30, and the refrigerator was cold. The ribs turned out fine. You didn't get sick.
But none of that mattered because the motherfuckers was good.
Exactly. I didn't know what. At first I was thinking, man, I gotta tell him I can't get these ribs. I'm gonna probably go get him some chicken or something. Go get some Yardbird or something. But I thought you was gonna be like, man, this motherfucker bullshit. And I said, no. So it turned out fine, man.
Yeah, man. All that shit is gone. They ate them beans up.
Yeah, the beans I did a little twist. I know Red said something too because I put a little hot spice in there. You damn right. You got to watch what you're doing, man. So
she ate them up, man. It was just too bad it wasn't for the intended. Patrons and everything. I'm a little disappointed at your man. He
it ain't got nothing to do with me, man. You reached out. You talking about the little fella with this cameo.
No. I'm talking not him. I'm talking about your man that was.
Oh, really?
Because he confirmed twice, man. He confirmed twice. He confirmed the second time the day before he canceled, which is the day before the thing, and what made his cancellation bullshit to me was we scheduled to do it on the week he was available. Man, when I asked him, so what? He said I can't do it on that week. I said, so what week can you do it on?
Right.
That's the week we're going.
Well, just to play devil's advocate, since you brought it up, he does have a young child and he does have a lady.
That wasn't one of his excuses.
You know what though? That's the only thing I could come up with.
It was an emergency, he said. So when you have an emergency, that's one thing.
Right.
He came with that one thing and then 4 other things. Yeah. That ain't no emergency.
But adversity happens. But think of it this way. What if that blessing that happened between me and you didn't happen and he would have been there? You'd have looked more goofy, right? So look at it that way.
He said more goofy. So I looked.
You already said you look goofy anyway. You already told me that. Didn't you? Come on, stop playing. Didn't you? You would have had 2 people saying you look goofy.
You would look more goofy.
No, on the real though, man. I hope the hiccups is clearing themselves out because there's always going to be some adversity.
It actually worked perfect, man.
Right.
I'm mixing a song right now. I just did laid some vocals on and from the dude that did come from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He was green. I had to teach him how to count bars. I didn't realize that.
Wow.
And his breathing, he needs a lot of work in the breathing and the articulation department.
So he was a rapper.
Yeah. Okay. He sounded good. He got the little flow.
Now, did he come up with the flow when he was here?
He came up with something here, but he had a song particularly that he had already written. So we laid that down, a couple other things, and just trying to teach him how to breathe. He knew, he green. I could tell when he got there. I didn't realize how green he was, but I realized it when he got there. And but he willing to listen, so I'm willing to work with him. The song came it's pretty decent. I like it.
Do you like ribs?
Oh, man, they ate that shit up, man. The beans, the ribs. He didn't eat the ribs. He ate the chicken.
The chicken, yeah.
Yeah, he ate
that chicken I got. I didn't make the chicken myself. That was chicken left over a couple of days earlier.
Oh, really? It was like a rub on one of them or something?
That was from Philly Steakhouse.
I don't give a fuck where it was from.
Oh, the I barbecued someone, but the red looked like barbecue. It was hot. That was from the Philly Steakhouse. The other chicken I barbecued. Put on the grill.
Okay. Yeah, we ate the. Yeah, them shits was good.
Oh, that's good. I mean, so you accomplishing what you trying to do at a faster pace. You just a little slower pace right now. That's okay, man. Take it.
We burnt a lot of time. We burnt a lot of time, man, trying to deal with that board shit, man. We burnt about 10 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, I was trying to troubleshoot, man. I'm like, so
because you don't want to be defeated. and it didn't.
Man, I was so bad, man.
That's all right.
And then he went to sleep because he was tired because they kept delayed the train and it was cold. And
Brother took
on
the
the
train.
way here, on the way here and shit. So he was tired, so he went to sleep. And I got to, so I went to sleep for a couple hours. And then woke up. I was like, man.
Yeah, I knew you didn't want to do that Saturday. I knew. I beat you to the punch. I said, nah, you ain't going to hook up this morning because, and it's like noon. Noon gets here like real quick too.
Yeah, man. I'm like, I'm wasting too much time. He gonna leave in the morning and shit. So from the time we had been up for a few hours before that, but from the time you got that, I didn't go to bed until
that next day.
Yeah, the next day, like 7:30,
I knew it.
8 o'clock, or some shit like that.
I knew it. So I was like, plus I was, still in the mix of welcoming my wife back.
I ain't bad at you.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So she back. She back home.
She back, man.
She got to go back out.
Not that far. She's got to go back and forth to train in state. But you know what? That's a part of her job. That's the Lord works in mysterious ways. I can't travel like I used to. It's her turn. So she's doing her things to keep the pot of train going, so to speak.
Right.
I enjoy it, man. I'm just a little worried of what's happening with the world right now. Now, last week we didn't talk no political stuff on the podcast, and I kind of enjoyed that.
Right.
But you know what? Sometimes we got to talk about shit that's relevant, and I'm kind of a little irritated about what's happening this week. With 45 is at
the orange one.
Yeah.
How you gonna tell somebody to go back to Africa and then say it's not racist, man?
But hold on, before we
take that same thing that he said. And go to your job and yell that shit. See if you don't get fired, and see if they don't deem it racist.
Right. So at this point, there was a question. It was a good question. If you have diehard friends that are stalk Trump supporters, do you still want to be friends with them?
No,
are you still friends?
At this point,
this
week. No, it was the last week.
Before this week for me.
Way before for me too. But I'm just saying. After he said what he said to go hold the old Trump, go back to your country, go back home. Man, you can't fuck with me.
But you know what?
I can't.
The thing that kills me about that, Amaru, is people really think that we supposed to think that's fake news. Like he really didn't say that.
Yeah.
And I watched this whole North Carolina because I have to. If I want to know what I'm talking about, I got to watch it. Okay.
Absolutely.
So of course the whole time I'm watching with a frown and I'm constipated and I don't feel good. But the point being is I got to listen to what he's saying, and he says the same stuff over and over again, and stuff that's not relevant. And when that crowd started chanting, "Send her back," let me tell you something. I didn't count 13 seconds. That was
14 seconds,
13 or 14. And you know what? They stopped chanting it before we started talking.
Right.
And he wants us to believe
die down.
he wanted us to believe that he said he stopped it fairly quickly. No, that ain't what he didn't do. What McCain did to Obama when the lady called him a Muslim and all this whatever. Then it's hard to be friends with someone.
He ain't done what John McCain did when he was doing his little stump speeches or whatever with that lady.
Yes, he stopped him.
Said that stupid shit.
He could have did that easy.
He was like, in his head, he was like, bitch, give me this mic. That was John McCain.
He almost backhanded.
He was like, bitch, hand this shit. Shut your ass up.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing
Seems
like
that.
He's not. I'm just trying to win and become president, motherfucker.
But that bar is so far gone now. The respect level.
At this point, this time, this minute, if you still support him, fuck you.
And they saying he's not racist. I don't get it. Okay, this is not a microphone.
This
is not a table.
That don't believe what you see shit. And he actually said that on TV. Don't believe what you're reading and seeing.
He calling it fake news.
Me.
Yeah. He actually wants us to be like applauding him when he comes to the room, like
he wants to be a king.
Yeah, he wants to be like that.
Like we a bunch of his toys and shit.
So the squad, Rashida Tlaib, AOC. Ayanna Presley. He said, I wonder if she related to Elvis. I'm like, stupid shit. He said that the other night. Yeah, man. I was like, this has got to be the goofiest motherfucker. And I had to watch the whole thing, man. And that's Omar. I mean, he's putting them all in jeopardy. Now, AOC just got recently threatened by that Louisiana cop.
Oh, right. But he got fired today.
Good. He should.
He should
get fired.
Philadelphia firing like 12 of them for being on their Facebook group.
I mean, it's messed up, man. You putting those ladies in jeopardy, their lives in jeopardy. First,
you know it, man.
First, you tell the police officers, "Don't be gentle."
Right.
And you know who's basically talking about.
At this point, this time, this day and age, this particular week, if you still support Trump, kiss all my ass.
And it's amazing to me how they say he's saying they're so unpatriotic, but this is the same man that got on in front of the world with Putin beside him talking about we're not trusting his FBI or the Mueller investigation.
Right.
I remember the Secret Service and all that. Man, that's crazy. This is the same man that said that. You know, same dude that told the cops, like I said, the same dude, you know, that white supremacist support, he's never really denounced them.
75% of your state, your home state, didn't vote for your ass. What'd that tell you? Because New York already knew. They already knew he was a crook. 75% of them motherfuckers didn't vote for him.
You know what else got swept under the rug? But it's going to come back out. 2016, a testimony, Epstein.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Him and Trump was.
See, I'm telling you.
14-year-old.
I think he was in. That's
and
what he was doing in Russia.
Testimony. This is
that's
testimony.
What he was doing in Russia. Getting them golden showers from them little girls. I'm telling you. That's what. Some people finding out Trump really ain't a billionaire was getting.
But the thing about it, Maru, nobody seems like they care what he's done thus far. What makes you think they're gonna care now?
The money, all about pocketbook.
But think about that though. How can they come with when he said grab him by the pussy and all that? Right. They thought that was the end of it. No. They put it in. That's just locker room talk. That has never been. That's nothing.
He went to raping bitches. That's what he went to.
That's basically what he did too. Yeah, that's what that lady testified.
Yeah, right. And then that other thing that came out about the lady saying that he raped her and pulled her garment down in the dressing room or whatever. The fashion. What's he, a fashion designer or writer or something like that?
I think she was.
That's died down. And that allegation came out less than a month ago.
Because every day is always what the fuck.
Right. I haven't heard anything about her.
Right. I mean, all these distractions, man. All these distractions. But like Ms. Presley said, don't let it distract you from what's happening with the real. There's so many things that's on the table right now. But and then I see stuff on Facebook, and you can't help it. I don't really like to comment on it.
Yeah, I don't comment.
No, certain things I have to.
If you still accept Trump at this point, this day, this week,
then we can't be friends.
And you still, there's no debating no more. There's no trying to convince you.
I can't help the way you can't help the way you feel. We at a spot of the unknown. This has never happened.
Yeah, you got to make a choice.
I mean,
you got to make a choice. And if you say you want to be a Republican so bad, create a new Republican Party. Call it the new. We are the new Republicans. We are the new because we don't believe that bullshit the old Republicans got going on. This, that, third. If you want to be a part of the Republic, believe in what the Republicans had stood for, come to the new Republicans, or call it something else. But you're gonna have to disassociate yourself. I wouldn't even want to call it Republican.
Yeah.
Period. So I call the shit something else, Pelicans or some shit. We the Pelican Party. Come over here. We believe what the Republicans, right? Republicans used to be. We over here.
I don't know. I'm not getting discouraged. I don't want to keep stress. I don't want to be a Donald Trump basher on everything I do.
Man, fuck that.
No, that's just me because I don't want to get a headache. I don't want to have stress in my life because this man is the leader of the free world as far as that goes.
I fit the description. I gotta be stressed.
Well, no.
I fit every description.
You got high blood pressure description,
right? I fit every.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to take that out on people. I don't want to walk around being militant. I may be able to be more conscious right now, and I outlet it on this podcast. I won't do it on stage. That's not my style. But I'm really worried about what's happening in the future. Here's the question tomorrow. When he loses in 2020, do you think it's going to be an easy transition? Do you think he's going to transition?
No, I don't think he's going to leave.
The reason why? I don't think he would either. Who's going to stop him? Who going to change
right.
him? Who can get him out?
Ain't nobody enforce shit up to this
exactly.
point.
So who do you? Right. He could do whatever he wants.
Right.
You know when he said he could go to Central Park or Central whatever in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody in the head. I believe I believe they said he could say that before. I think this has all been a ploy in the beginning to get this dude in office because he's just making mockery of the presidents.
Maybe that's in another country, but there was recently a mayoral race or something where the mayor said he wasn't leaving and he ain't left, and the other mayor got sworn in and all that.
It's not this country. That would have been news. I don't think.
I thought I'd seen him on the news or something. Like he was like he ain't leaving, and the motherfucker's still there. and the other dude trying to govern.
Nah, right. They both live in the house. Peeing around the same toilet.
Can you get my clothes out? No. Get my clothes out, but I'm there.
Put some lotion on my back, dog. Nah, man.
I thought it was in this country, man.
I'm just
he
nervous.
He ain't leaving.
You said my man should have did that, though, right?
Obama should have left.
Yeah.
He should have held up the White House because of this. Because of what we going through right now.
Well, who knew?
He knew.
Hindsight's 2020.
He knew.
Hindsight's
Come on, man. How
2020.
you don't know somebody crazy moving in your house? Come on, man. He knew that nigga was crazy before he moved in.
But I go by the law.
That's exactly what the fuck he did, too.
I go by the law.
Gotta have a legacy.
He gonna slit his own throat, man. The worst thing to me, I'm sorry. All the things he say, okay, that's talking, but to be raping kids, I mean, he raped girls, dude.
And he looked like
I'm not just making this up.
He was all chummy with Epstein too, like
and then this is the thing.
We could get hurt.
And he's dogging Epstein now. He's talking about he's not a fan. Epstein gonna be like, okay, he's gonna have a light. He's gonna be like, shining on the light.
That one hard drive you took, look on partition 3.
Yeah, the girl is grown now. He has mushroom penis. I don't know, man. I'm just baffled by the people that still make excuse for everything. It's amazing to me. And
he wasn't being racist. He was just. He's just frustrated.
They actually want us to believe that they're un-American, like they're like girl applause Taliban.
Is the nigga in the Congress or the Senate, the black dude, the senator from South Carolina, the brother, the Republican, the only Republican black dude. Scott.
Okay.
I can't remember his name. He ain't changed parties or got out that party.
A couple of them have. A couple of them have.
Not him as a black man.
Yeah. But you know what? Last week, I saw on the internet a Georgia lawmaker. She was at a store and she had like 20 items and it was a 12-item limit. And she said a white dude walked up on her. She said, "I'm sick of this Trump stuff's getting out of hand." She was crying real hard. She's a Georgia lawmaker. And she said, he walked up to her and said, "You lazy something. Go back to your own country or get out of this country. Go back to Africa," or something to that effect. Lo and behold, I saw the follow-up to that today. The man is a Cuban. And he's a Democrat.
That said that?
Yeah, he's a Cuban and a Democrat. He said he walked up to her. He said he walked outside first and he came back in. He said, "Ma'am, I don't mean no harm, no offense." And he pointed at the sign and he said a few words of exchange and he called her a bitch. But he never told her to go back to her own country, whatever. She made that up. And she said, well, he said something to the effect. She was backtracking big time. She was moonwalking like a mother. She did a Jussie Smollett on a smaller scale, but she's a lawmaker. She was doing it for, in a messed up way though, Maru. I'm glad that story ain't true. Because I don't want copycat fools to go up to people and start, getting busted out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that happen.
Michigan,
the Asian girl.
Yeah. How you gonna be Asian and tell somebody and start talking shit like you?
Right.
You walking on eggshells as it is. Right. Be quiet. You supposed to be rah 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 in the background. Not talk about go back to your own country. Like I don't understand that.
She was a University of Michigan.
Man, I don't understand that shit.
You turn in your blue.
I'm like, you super Asian. Like, you just got here.
With cheese. Cute too, Jesus, but she was wrong. She messed up. They stripped her good.
Like, hey, how you gonna fucking say some shit like that, man? You just got your card.
Just got it, but she lost it.
Yeah, that's what that acclamation did for her ass. She was assimilated.
Yeah. So what that Georgia lawmaker did basically, she put a little. Basically she's doing what Trump's doing, but she can't do that.
They getting away with it though.
She ain't getting away with it.
Man,
they turned against her, man. Like, you can't. That's causing a little bit of division. That's causing a little bit of division. That's just adding on fuel to the flames.
We'll let you go for 30 days, but we're gonna bring you back. Well,
We'll see. Again, I'm glad it wasn't true because I don't want people going around acting foolish like that. But she shouldn't have did that.
They are, man.
Just again, she was trying to get
stabbed.
But my thing is, how did he find out about it on social media? Somebody must have told him. And somebody, hey, remember that story you was telling about that girl? I wonder how he found out.
Researchers.
It was on the news. All that.
They got a whole department that's back there. Hey, Remember that one story we did? What's the update on that? You know,
it's true, man. The media's gonna get it. The media's gonna get us all messed up. All I'm waiting for is an asteroid, dude. Boom! Just to take us the hell out.
Bow! Just take it, man.
We don't even deserve it. It's just amazing to me how we just still stuck on everything's still a race to me.
Because everything is.
We so stupid. Cubans don't think that way. Cubans, you could be white, you could be dark. They all Cubans, and they treat each other that way.
I don't think I heard that.
How would you not hear that? How would you hear that? You
Cubans
heard it first from me. No,
Spanish people.
When they Cubans and they Cuba, they treat each other like there ain't no race tripping like
really?
we do. Yeah, really.
I thought they had like.
No.
What's my man problem then? The baseball player. He is straight locked up.
Oh, you talking about Sosa?
Ortiz.
Sosa.
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa.
Oh my God!
He turned light. Yeah, he turned white. He looked like a genie.
Have you seen him?
Man, he lost his rabbit. I don't get it, man.
Man,
I don't think he got the Whiteo or whatever it's called.
That dude looked like a commercial.
He looked like a blank piece of paper. With eyes.
Dude, and then when he tried to take his picture, he tried to keep his hands in his pocket. Nigga, come on.
Yeah, I seen him a couple. I mean, it looked kind of. He looked strange. Man.
He looked like a genie. 2 weeks ago, man. We was like, Kristen didn't know about it. She looked him up. She's like, look him up. She was like, what? What about? Don't tell me about Sammy Sosa. I'm like, yeah. Look, you don't know. She was like, no. What are you talking about? She looked him up. Was like, man, and then showed me some shit that I'm like, damn. I already knew. Man, that's crazy as hell. Lil Kim did that shit too.
I don't understand why people do that to them to their face.
Self-hatred, man.
Just try to be keeping up with people. I seen a new. They had people get the butt extensions.
Oh my God.
They had a big bowl like a vase that was on fire, and they sucked one of her cheeks, and the fire they sucked it. They had it capped off good, and and her butt was like a bubble, but they got to do the other side. Hopefully she could take the pain because the other side would look all lopsided and shit. But it wasn't in America, but they're going to probably do something like that soon because it looks safe. It's just if you got to take the burn.
Just leave your shit alone,
I agree.
man.
I agree.
Love yourself. Just, if you want your ass swollen, just have your man slap the motherfuckers every time you have sex, and maybe, hopefully, the swollenness will stick around for a few days,
Just tell that to the police, okay?
I can't do that to my girl. She white. Every time she walk by the stairs, think I got my camera phone ready, with, just in case she look.
Goofy shit?
No, that motherfucker clumsy. Look, she fell off.
Yeah, my wife fall up the steps, dude.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Because Krista fell out the stairs before, broke some shit. Okay, I fell down before. She fell down those stairs and she fell on the outside stairs.
They look at you like OJ, right?
Right. I'm like, one time the kids was behind me and she slipped a little bit. I said, hey, y'all saw that, right?
Y'all to my defense.
I was like, y'all see that, right? Yeah, I don't take no risks.
No, you can't nowadays, man.
Not 2019. No offense, baby, but
it's 2019. Everything is just. I remember it used to be you don't talk to strangers on the internet, and you don't hitchhike. Now you can call somebody on the internet and get in an Uber car with somebody. Right. You don't know who they are.
All that shit provided for you now.
I mean,
it's okay as long as we can make some money from it.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's okay. Talk to strangers. You gotta talk to strangers in order to get a ride or Uber or
by yourself. Ain't no way. I don't recommend that course of action to any young lady that's attractive to go alone. I mean, there are some weirdos out there. I Uber drive for a minute. I hated transitioning that story to me.
You can call it sexist if you want to, man, but the idea of having my child or daughter doing that shit bothers me. You
talking about being a driver?
Right, being a driver. Okay, you tough, motherfucker, but you still ain't stronger than the average bear, so.
Right. I mean, unless you know defense, but you driving, they can do whatever.
Driving, they can do whatever. They can overdo, or they gonna overpower you. So you could be tough if you want to, but odds are You know?
It's just amazing the stuff they come up with now. Anyway, I mean, I thought taxis was fine. I mean,
I be thinking about that shit. I be like, I can't have a motherfucker sitting behind me and shit. I don't know.
No. I ain't talking about being a taxi driver. I'm talking about taxis and period. I mean, taxi drivers was fine. Why did you have? Who invented Uber? Now they got Uber.
But even taxi drivers usually had the bulletproof window.
Right. But they was getting the job done. Taxi people hate Uber.
They hate Uber drivers.
They hate Lyft.
But taxi people getting robbed in the first fucking place because you know in New York,
yeah, you're right. Ubers can't get robbed. Uber drivers can't get robbed.
But the medallions cost $1 million in New York. To get a medallion to drive a cab.
No shit.
Yes, they go broke over that shit, man. Most of them never really pay it off. Like 90% of them, they go in debt over getting this medallion in order to drive a taxi, thinking that it's gonna take them out of poverty, and they usually die on that $1 million shit. Yeah.
I never heard no shit like that.
Yeah. Look that shit up, man. That costs $1 million to get one of them motherfuckers.
You get it on credit, right?
Yes. You get a lot. You have to
got to pay it off.
Yes.
That's a hell of a student loan.
Yes. It's a $1 million business. They got a board, a medallion board, all that shit.
Oh, like
they auction them motherfuckers.
Now only owe $999,995.
They auction them off. Yes.
So you can get one for less than $1 million.
No, you ain't getting one for less than $1 million. You don't get. It's gonna be $1 million something. The bidding started off. I want to say close to $1 million.
They got me. Sold to the dude that don't speak no English.
It costs $1 million for a medallion, man. So that's why they hate Uber.
I never heard of such a thing.
A taxi driver in New York running into an Uber driver in the park, they gonna stab him. Somebody getting cut on sight for real. For real.
45 gonna blame the 5.
Right, right, the Central Park. Exonerated.
But he's not racist. He still won't say sorry and say, oh, I should have did that. My bad. And it's funny, I was watching something else and his base is like, man, you leftists are funny. Every time you guys don't agree with something, you start calling people names. I just shook my head. I'm like, do you see?
No more arguing with that.
Right. It's like, do you see what your man do? Do you see anything? And they always say this.
They see it.
They say the fact that no, he's straight to the point. And look at the economy and all that. I'm saying I can't enjoy the economy. I can't enjoy anything without peace of mind. You know, it's no fun being this worried about what's happening around the corner and you know what he gonna say next. And
I worry about my kids, the future kid.
Exactly.
I just saw my first biological grandbaby picture today. It'll talk to me no more. So I ain't, my youngest showed me.
How old is the grandbaby?
Like 4 days old.
Oh.
She was like, Dad, this is the baby. This is what it looks like. Oh, okay. I was like, well, a proper reference to that would be, Dad, this is your grandchild, your granddaughter. That is my even though y'all don't speak to me, I'm still related to you. That's still like, this is what my grandbaby look like. What's her name? She told me her name, and then I was like, what's her whole name?
Amira.
I don't know. You the auntie, how you don't know your niece's name and shit? Like,
this is 12-year-old?
Yeah. I was like, y'all just don't care about shit.
Then she went back to her phone or the internet or something.
Right. I'm like, that's your niece. You felt it enough to come out here and show me my grandbaby look like it, but you got a little information about it.
Yeah. It's the truth though, man. That's the ones I worry about. What are we doing?
We fucking it up for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just waiting for the asteroid to just take us out. Yeah, we don't deserve this, man. We don't deserve this shit. I just don't see how we went back to. I was watching something today, and I watch a lot when I'm working because I like to stay engaged. I can multitask, but I like to look up and then try to research stuff for the podcast, or just knowledge. Right. And not to get mad or I just want to be able to understand. And re-understand,
so that you can make informed decisions,
and have a topic with someone, and have a dialogue with someone that may not even know this,
right?
And it doesn't have to be Black History Month to see the atrocities happen. I went over the Emmett Till story on YouTube earlier, and I'm telling you, man, the 1955 was not that long ago, and how we were treated.
It's not.
It's amazing, and
people have already forgotten that history, and because it's not being taught in school, history is not being taught in school, so that will manifest in 10, 20 years with another generation who don't know shit.
There was a big movement in the civil rights movement. That death of him in 1950.
That lady's still alive, ain't she?
No, his mother. Oh, the lady. No,
yeah, the lady.
I think she already died. But they did reopen.
No, I think she's still alive.
I don't think she is.
She
we'll
she
see.
admitted that she lied about
right.
the whole
We'll
situation.
see. But they reopened the case in 2004, I believe, and I don't think anything. I don't have any follow up on it or what have you. I think pretty much everyone that was part of it. It's just amazing, and an hour it took them to find him innocent, and they said it would have took them shorter, but they wanted to make it look good or what have you. It was just amazing, and it just makes you understand. Why am I so passionate about what Kaepernick is doing this and how unfair it's always been? And you really don't realize that because I ain't never really had nothing really bad. I've been stereotyped and I've been called the N-word. We moved to an all-white neighborhood when I was 11 and 12. I had gotten in fights and shit, but I never really experienced deep, like I ain't from the South. We Yankees up here, dude. But to see that and how just whistling and just looking, and you had to say sir and ma'am, like, who the fuck are you type of thing. Like, you always gonna have that brother say, man, I would have did. No, you wouldn't have. You would have adapted and adjusted later in life like everybody else did. That didn't make you a punk or a coward. That just mean you wanted to stay alive. Back then, there was no judicial system for us. Obviously, you have an all-white jury that acquitted those dudes, and it was just amazing to see that. It's like, my God,
you know why?
How can they have so much hate for someone they don't even know, dude? I never will understand that. I'll never understand
ain't gonna change. We can't get up. We can't. You know what I hate? The fact that people say N-word. Primarily white people or black people.
Well, we talk about it on here as in a term of endearment.
Right,
a little
but
bit,
that's stupid.
It is. So okay. New rule.
That's stupid.
New rule. New rule. Don't say it no more. Right now.
Right.
Right now.
If you do say it, say nigga. Say the shit. To describe it, say the N-word. And that don't make. Yeah. That doesn't make.
Oh, that's what you were saying. Like, I thought you were saying you don't mind if we say nigga.
No. Okay. If you gonna say it, say the shit.
I thought you got offended we were saying nigga.
No. If you ain't gonna say it, don't say N-word, man.
Right then. I got us making rules here. Say okay, we won't say no more. Just a thought.
I'm just like, man.
Like nigga, please say it right.
They done made black people say N-word. Nigga. That shit is funny to me.
It's different. Black people say it different though.
Their guilt made us say N-word. How the fuck do you do that?
Well, you know what we do as well? When we always say something that a black man's doing that we like Ben Carson. We always call him Uncle Tom and a coon and all that. Why do we call our own people the same thing that white people call?
But we'll make something and change whatever and make it a part of our lexicon and euphemisms or whatever, and then they get offended and then say, well, we don't want you to say that no more, and then all of a sudden we don't say it no more because of white guilt. That shit is stupid, man. Like,
you never.
We ain't gonna be able to.
Okay, what
we
word?
Can't say the word, then you can't say it either. What kind of shit?
I don't know if there's no white words that exclude us from saying. There's just white words that we don't want to say.
We ain't making no rules about the word hunky because nobody want to say that shit because that shit sounds stupid. That's why nobody say it. They ain't gotta impose no shit. Ain't nobody gonna say that. It takes too much
effort to say that.
Yeah, it sounds.
You gotta
stupid.
treat your lips different.
Like who on the black side made up that word for them? They should be fired. How you gonna make up the word hunky for white people? Well, you couldn't come up with something else. Like Crockett had been sitting there all this time.
A white person came up with hunky. They said, "Oh, it's hunky dory."
Like, that shit sounds stupid, man.
And the black guy, man, everything he always says he's always hunky.
Right.
And that's where it came from. Hunky dory came
stupid,
to hunky.
Man. Like who made that shit up? Like white people can have it back if they give us reparations. They can say nigga. I'm telling you, I think we should propose that. Y'all can say nigga finally, and however you want.
Newsflash, they already are.
I'm saying you can say it. You can use it in your music, all kind of shit. Say it freely, everything. If you give us reparations, you buying it back, buying the word back. You say it all. You be like, hey, what's up, nigga? Well, I'm fine. I just count my 40 acres. Hey, what's up, John?
That John get knocked the fuck out.
You can't hit John if you get reparations. That's part of the deal.
Shit, I didn't live this long with that.
Shit, I be counting them 40 acres. Hey, you just call me nigga. Oh, okay, yeah. What's up, nigga?
Yeah, so you know, like when people just say, like I have a friend that say "kiss my arse" or "ace." You know, say some.
You might as well say
son
the
of a
word
biscuit
because
eater,
the word you replacing it with
it's the same thing.
Right,
Yeah. It's just a word anyway. It's just a word anyway.
You
ain't nothing gonna burn in your mouth for saying fuck,
man.
Right.
You empower the word. If you were describing the word, I want to hear. Now kids gonna grow up thinking nigga is N-word. N-word is nigga. No. That's something they're using to describe the real fucking word. Just say the real fucking word, man. That's like hiding titties from a teenager. They gonna go get the shit anyway. Like, oh, that's what they trying to hide. That's stupid. It's stupid. Remember when Al Sharpton and them spent all this money to have a fucking ceremony and a burial
of the word, nigga?
You know how much money they fucking wasted?
Yeah.
Because as soon as they walked away from that shit, they was like, nigga, you see it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that nigga crazy.
That nigga crazy.
You saw that money them niggas collected?
Right.
Nigga,
shit. Nigga, right. Like, that was a waste of fucking money and time.
Nigga, you telling the truth.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man, I was so mad about
it's
that
always
shit.
just a thought, man. That's funny.
Man, that's some bullshit.
Well, you know.
we focus on some dumb shit and then big shit and handle the I was reading somewhere it said the constituents are smarter than the fucking people running the country. Like, we see this shit, man. We see it for what it is.
Well, that's like a company.
It's
dude.
unbelievable to watch them deny it. It's just like surreal.
That's like a company. You see all the big wigs. They're up there. They make all the big bucks because they walked into the big bucks. But they need the peons to do the actual work. You know, but the peons know more about the business than they do.
Absolutely.
They just know about the numbers.
Right.
You know, so I understand. People make the world go round, and just like the money makes the world go round.
Everybody has their place in the world. Right now,
you got to keep your circle tight.
Matrix is fucked up.
You got to keep your circle tight. You got to have a conversation with people that's kind of fucking up. Don't get a court date. Don't react in a negative way. Don't do what they expect you to do.
Right.
Basically, don't be a nigga. You know, but at the same token, don't get disrespected without letting them know. Look, I ain't.
I want to
back
be
in the
able
day.
to act like that motherfucker and not get in trouble, just like that motherfucker don't get in trouble.
Man,
you know what I mean? I want to be able to roll down the street and not get harassed like he don't get harassed.
Of course, we all want that.
I don't want to have to die. I don't want to have to die down and keep my whole being to myself.
I'm not gonna walk on eggshells.
Right.
I'm not gonna walk on eggshells for nobody.
That's all we asking for. Can we
respect?
Not have to walk on eggshells? And now, so we gotta make laws for it to be illegal for a company to discriminate against a person's hairstyle. Yeah. What kind of shit is that?
That's just another form.
You gotta make a law.
That's another form. If you can't wear cornrows, that's another form.
That's great. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah.
We gotta put a law on the books to say that you can't discriminate over this person's hairstyle. What kind of bullshit is that, man?
Shit, man. You could kill a police dog, get 45 years as a civilian.
You can kill a cactus and damn near get life in Arizona. You get more time for destroying a cactus for killing somebody.
But they get killed.
We got laws. This is fucked up, man. It don't make no sense.
Don't make any sense.
And they hype this thing up about the soldiers and being patriotic and all this, that, and the third. But yet we let the soldiers starve. They a lot of them on welfare.
One soldier is a Latino soldier. He was up in. He got ICE.
Tours. He did two tours. And they deported his ass.
Yeah,
that's some gangster shit, man.
And he showed him.
Right.
I'm from here.
Right. That's some gangster shit.
What you doing? Hola.
That's how you create terrorists. Keep tearing families apart and shit. That's how you create terrorists.
But Obama said those are his camps. But he had a little bit deplorable. He had a little bit of heart about it.
You won't hear no mother there wasn't protesting and, rah-rahing on TV about how terrible they being treated and shit. Like, man, it's shit.
It's a powder keg.
And it's blowing the fuck up.
You know, I mean, I think it's a lot worse than what people really. I mean, I'm not looking forward to 2020. I am to get somebody else in office, but I really don't think
these new generations of kids ain't gonna take it, because they see from point A to Z clearly. While we got bureaucracy and politics and this in front of the destination to Z, they see straight through that shit. They don't see the bureaucracy.
Can you imagine being that motherfucker though, man? He don't care. There's a slight level of, man, that motherfucker he is a big gang. He's the biggest gangster ever. When you could do whatever you want.
He a dumb gangster.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
That's
the whole point.
Imagine if he was brilliant.
Imagine Obama. Imagine if they.
No.
Imagine. Well, first of all, this
a brilliant gangster.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Somehow he is. I mean, somehow. How did he get to where he is? Money. He came out the right.
A gangster dummy.
Yeah. That's a good song. That's a good song. Gangster dummy.
Gangster dummy.
Gangster dummy. Best words. Gangster dummy.
Right. He gangster dummy. It's amazing. Bigly. He on that Kofefe. It's working out for him, man.
That's that word he typed.
Yeah. Hey, I saw a meme that said, a long time, it's an old meme, but Trump out here running the country like Death Row Records.
I bet Suge was like, that shit ain't funny.
He is though, man. He out here running this shit like Death Row, man.
And I watched that, and then right when I watched the Four Ladies first, early last week, on their rebuttal, and they spoke, and he keeps telling people that they hate the country. All they're trying to do is make the country better. We know that. But he'll tell them his base that, and they'll believe it.
They'll believe it.
And I'm telling you, he's putting their lives in danger.
Right. He putting their lives in danger, man. Because if I come up talking crazy, I'm not the guy, man. I'm not the one. No.
But he's saying all this falsehoods. But they're Americans. They're citizens.
He don't get a lot.
They're in his. They're sworn. They're sworn congresswomen, and that's more un-American than me.
That's how you create terrorism. You keep fucking with people, man. Something happened to Ilhan Omar. She a community of Somalians, and take one knucklehead, be pissed off of what they did to her, and next thing you know, it could be normal retaliation like a white person or a black person would do, but because they're Somalian, it's going to be deemed a terrorist act. That they retaliated against whoever did whatever to her, unfortunately, whatever. That type of shit. It's optics and volatile situations that we cause. We are causing some of these situations and then want to shout out and then point it out. Oh, right. Look at that situation. Yeah. But we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah. Like him saying the chant. Oh, I didn't like it. But you started it. You the reason why they said it, fool.
Like, it's amazing. It's surreal to watch this shit, man.
I feel like I'm still waiting for Ashton Kutcher, dude.
Right. Yeah, he's doing a 2-year pump.
And like, cut.
Right. Like when you was there, you could have came out like 8
damn, man, you could have saved a whole lot of frustration, man.
Damn, man. You know how many times my blood pressure shot up.
You would have been like, nigga, we ain't got no muse yet, motherfucker. Pow!
It's just a pilot. We ain't got picked up.
We ain't got picked up.
Are you serious?
Like that.
Right. Yeah.
You can say that N-word though.
Right.
You can say nigga freely and you give us a 4 acres of you. It's still a pilot. Man, we still in negotiations.
This the biggest reality show ever. Like we thought Genius was that movie, The Truman Show, with
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey in it. We thought that was some genius shit. How they that concept or whatever. We living that shit right now.
If you heard his speech though, man, it's amazing how there's no. You could tell when he's just going off the cuff. You could just tell when he's thinking in his head, "What can I say next?"
Right.
And then he has that stupid turtle look. When he turns to the side, when he bounces his head, like, I said some shit there, but you didn't say shit. That's amazing to me, and I just be looking like, how did we fucking get here?
How does, to be the most powerful dude in the world, how the fuck you don't have something in your ear, somebody just feeding you some
saying, shut up,
shit.
Shut up.
Or feeding you some smart shit. You just repeat what you hear.
Because he already has the best words, and he's a very smart man.
How I have a motherfucker in my ear talking about, you know, speaking like Obama, sounding like that nigga. You know what I'm saying? In the ear. Why would you do that? You know you stupid. Because he's so arrogant, he think he's smart. He really thinks he's smart.
Of course. And he really thinks he's the least racist person
You
in
ever
the world.
see a comic that really think they're funny, but they fucking horrible? And everybody in the room knows it. But this motherfucker keep going.
But they have the best preparation. They got the best merch. All that
They
shit.
swear they just killed.
Yeah.
With motherfuckers, like 12 motherfuckers walking.
Like, how's my set? If you ask him, you already know. Yeah.
That's Trump, man.
Yeah.
That's Trump. That is Trump. Swear to God, he funny as a motherfucker. And can't understand why every time he get off stage, half the room go.
Yeah.
They must all have to go to the bathroom. I killed.
Yeah, he killed. I mean, there's so many people that has so much. It's coming out the woodworks, dude. It's coming out the woodworks.
Dude.
I'm not saying that every person that I know that votes for Trump are racist, but I
all
think every
racists
racist that
voted for Trump. That's right.
You know, there's a lot of friends that I know. I golfed with one 2 months ago in the outing, but he's a diehard Trump supporter, and he's from here, but he moved to Georgia. You know, but I love him like we step cousins because when I first moved to that white neighborhood, he wasn't tripping. His family wasn't tripping. There was a few families
as long as you stay in your place.
Exactly. No. It wasn't like that at all. It wasn't like that at all. So don't even trip. I was traumatic anyway, coming from the west side, moving there, fighting every day, then moving there and fighting, but not winning as much because I was a little younger. But. No, man, we had to infiltrate at some point. Like, we wanted to move here. My parents wasn't rich. My mother worked at State, and my dad worked at Oldsmobile. You know, new car cleanup type of shit. He wasn't working in the GM or one of them shops, so they moved us there in 77. There was nobody in there but us, man. And it was one of those situations where, oh, shit, it goes to the neighborhood. No. That's why my grass is immaculate now, because I got the mindset, you ain't going to look at us like we fucked up the neighborhood. So we always had a nice grass there because I made sure it was upkept.
That's one of the things that we had to do.
We was the Joneses,
we couldn't even let our shit just be raggedy for a couple weeks if we wanted to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up. We can't just be loose and it's like, I don't want to do it for them. And
fuck that.
And I have to explain it or get some kind of fine.
We wasn't no lazy niggas. Put it like that.
It ain't about being lazy.
We like that. We was on Shawassee. It was the same way. You just
don't want to cut the grass this week. You know, they do it.
I love it. And I'd sit back and be like, yeah. How you like me now? No, I still had that mentality today. I love cutting my grass. I'm just one of those people. Now, my neighbor, she asked me to do hers. Now I'm like, okay, for a small fee. So I got her cut her grass, and you know, if I ever wanted to get a lawn service, I think I'd be pretty good. I don't know how to treat it as far as the chemicals. I ain't no chemicologist, but I know how to.
Shit,
I know, but I didn't fuck it up before. Long story, but anyway. I take pride in that shit. So
as you should in any work you
But
do.
to me, the way I felt in 77 is kind of coming back now, the way people are acting, the shit that I see. What I'm going to have to do, Maru, is get off Facebook when it comes to certain things. They'll like Mufasa.
Everybody need to get off.
When he said, somebody asked him, what would you ask a person on the first date? And he said, are you a tranny? And he said, they blocked that off of him because they said that's not the likeness of Facebook or whatever. You could talk political shit, call black people shit all day, but you can't talk about a tranny.
No.
I ain't got nothing against trans. I ain't got nothing against the LGBT community, none of that.
Man.
But
they are above black people now.
Right now, exactly. That's the point I'm making. It's like, how did we get lower?
They just under Jewish folk.
But the only good thing is, when they're that free and free spirit, they gotta love everybody. To me, they can't be prejudiced. They
just
can
like
be,
Asian
but
people, just like an Asian.
That sounds good in theory, don't it?
Right. you can't be prejudiced and talking about send them back, and you from China.
Can't nobody say any of that, man.
But she was born in Boston. No, bitch, somebody lied to you.
Shit, I'm an 8th Indian. My leg is here. My leg was from here. Shit.
Man, that's we people are just beside themselves.
People are still stuck on stupid with the same conversation. We should just all move forward amicably and live and try to see the next day and have a good rapport with everyone. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Absolutely. You know me, I'm nowhere near prejudice. I'm just, my eyes are open now when it comes to certain things. I got to be aware about my surroundings.
We all do.
You know,
we all do. Super aware.
I mean, at certain points, people do need to have things have to be done. People still need to laugh, but I'm just not one of those people that want to make you laugh anymore like that. I'm not scared, nothing like that. That's just not my vibe no more. I don't feel like it.
That's aging. That's what that is.
That's aging. Plus, the way the world is, the way I feel, I don't want to be entertaining motherfuckers that may not even like me.
You don't feel the need to conform.
Because I'm not going to get political. And when I headline, I hate when features get political. You know, I don't want to tell another comic what you can and can't say. I may say, hey, man, don't go down here and don't stop. I remember another comic got mad at me for saying, dude, you're losing the audience when you get off stage. And he got pissed. But long story short, I don't tell another comic what not to say, what to say. I remember starting out there, oh, what do you talk about? Motherfucker,
I've never had that. I've never had that
when I
in 20 years.
When I MC,
I hear stories
don't
all the time.
Yeah.
And I be waiting for it to happen so I can tell them about
well, come on, man. Look at you.
I am not fucking.
You think hey, what's your name?
I'm saying,
you be like, why you ducking?
There's so many stories
of course,
that.
but you think they gonna say it to you?
I guess because yeah, man, don't come with me with that shit, nigga. You didn't hire me to come here and be mediocre. Get the fuck out of my face.
Right, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right,
you know,
earn that paycheck, motherfucker. That's what I always thought. Earn your shit.
Right. But at the same time, I like to.
I like capable headliners do that shit.
Yeah, you know I like the idea of being able to adjust, commiserate to the audience. Like if you happen to have a show when you got a couple of kids in there you didn't know. And they ask you, hey, man, look at the little kids here. What are you going to do?
Hey, you shouldn't have brought them. They got questions. They got questions after the show.
You're going to keep going.
Right. They're going to have questions after the show. I'm about to talk about the Menendez brothers now.
Shit.
I had twin boys come to a show one time. They was probably about 8, 9 years old apiece. And I had a Menendez joke at the time. They was out. They was like, I was like, yeah, so you gonna ask some questions?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a rundown of my set list.
I ain't gonna lie, I was in Champaign, Illinois. I remember it was a restaurant, like an Italian restaurant. It was years ago. It was maybe 2002. And I remember first show, there was 2 shows. It was one of those restaurants. And dinner show with the, plates and forks and knives. You could hear the plates cling, 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 cling. And second show, of course, you could let loose. But first show, there was a few kids, and I did what they asked me not to do, because at that time I was kind of green with the agency. I've only been there a few years, and I just started featuring. And I don't want to piss them off, because I was like, I was hungry then.
I did that when they would say for the feature, when I was featuring. As a headliner, I didn't bow to that, but when the club itself was like,
right. We talking about 2 different things. Yeah. When the club rules and comic rules, I don't believe comics can tell another comic what to do and what not to do. Right. That's just my personal opinion. I wouldn't do
absolutely.
But if comic is the same style as you. I remember I used to work with Jeff Brandon. He was funny, but he used to hate working with me because I had music in my show as well, and he had the guitar. But we had so much fun though, but he hated following me.
But it's a music show then.
I know.
That's what it does me.
But after a while I weaned away from all that, and it's just amazing how you could, just change your style. I'm just glad I could do shows commiserate to any audience. Right. Gospel, what have you. But right now this is not how I feel. That ain't what I want to do. My love and my passion is this podcast to let loose and say what we're gonna say, what we do. I'm telling you, this is therapeutic for me. To talk about shit that's relevant and how I feel. That's what I want to do with this podcast all along. I said, I don't give a fuck who's listening. I just want to talk about stuff that's relevant. I didn't expect you to be. I was going to be here by myself. Start talking shit and just whatever. I could be drunk. It could be 2 a.m. and what have you. But that ain't right. But good
morning.
Yeah, good morning, motherfuckers. But the point I'm making is, sometimes what that vision didn't work out. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Although this is 100%, we don't edit shit. What we say is what we meant at the time. Sometimes the idea going out, 2 a.m. thinking this and all that, maybe that's not a good idea after all. It's good to have some structure. It's good to research what you're talking about, and that's what I want to do. Sometimes it's in jest, sometimes it's serious shit. That's always like that with us. But it's a good conversation piece. We don't have to have a guest. We will have more guests in the future. We're going to have a lot of stuff in the future. We're going to get shirts. We're gonna be able to have
a conversation.
Yeah.
If you mad,
it's a dialogue.
Shit I say, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Explore why you mad. Just,
talk it out.
Just talk that shit out, man. It's a reason why I'm thinking this.
But I'm
change my mind. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm telling you, the worst thing you can do is silent.
Right.
That's
having a conversation at all.
That's cowardly to me.
Not avoiding it.
That's avoiding. That's cowardly. That's not helping. That's being a part of the problem, not the solution.
Right, avoiding it.
And that goes with everything in life. That goes with conversating about race. That's conversating with family, some issues, anything.
There's gonna be hard.
You gotta have a conversation.
There's gonna be some hard conversations too.
Sometimes somebody gonna be wrong, but you gotta be able to submit. You gotta be able to say, "Look, my bad." It's easy. Ain't nobody perfect. You can have perfect moments, but you can't. There ain't nobody perfect. And when you first think you are, that's when you. Oh, I know one person who think he perfect.
Trump.
Okay.
Drumpf. No,
but
Drumpf.
And it's Trumplings.
No, that's his real name. Drumpf.
Drumpf.
That's his real last name. Drumpf. DRUMPF or some shit like that.
It's the best spelled name.
Right. That's what we should do. We should all start as a society, as a collective, start calling him Donald Trump. Calling him Trump. That'll piss him the fuck off. Because it ain't a strong name to him.
I'm pretty think other words. Call him other things and piss him off worse.
What?
Motherfucker, dickhead.
Nah, Trump. Calling him Trump instead of Trump, which is supposed to be this big.
Trump.
Calling him his real name, Trump. They probably made fun of him in school.
Oh,
hey, Trump.
He got beat. Come on.
Hey, Trump.
He was just the fastest swimmer.
He was the kid with the money.
He was the fastest swimmer when he came out, and he was just privileged.
He was the kid with the money.
Yeah, exactly. So they beat him up. You got the money, Trump?
Hey, Trump. Right.
You got your money?
Right. Right. You
How much you want? 1,000 today?
And at some point, it was like, man, we could just use this fucker for the money. He'll give it to us. Just so he can come to the party and shit. And so they was like, yeah. Hey, Drumpf, you want to come to the party?
Is that Epstein? Yeah, I'll be there. You got that 2-year-old I've been asking about? He was 17 then. No, that's wrong. My bad. That's a little bad. My bad. That's just a thought right there. That was in jest right there. No, but no, I'm not obsessed with me about the story about him messing with. That's kind of messed up about the little teenagers, though, man. That's messed up.
That's hilarious. But that's
what happened, though.
Nice up there.
Yeah, that's what happened when he was younger. He was privileged, and he probably had fake friends.
Every one of them was fake.
Yeah, he only had friends that.
I can't believe a person like that ever had a real friend. Because no one has ever told him
when he's wrong, and that's still happening, man.
Yeah, he's an example of never being told no and never being given an ass whooping. He's the example of what could happen.
Couldn't you imagine people just like one slap? Just one slap.
I see one slap, man.
I see one of these Republicans just go, this dude that lost his rabbit.
He'll probably say, if Trump got slapped like that, he'll probably say, that was the best slap anybody has ever gotten slapped.
My face takes the best slaps.
My face takes the best slaps. Better than any that was the best slap.
Somebody grab my toupee. No, man. I pray for his safety. I don't want nothing to happen to that dude because that's when we're going to really be in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
We have to fight, man.
Yeah, so I just wish, I actually pray for the dude to do the right thing. A prayer does change things sometimes.
Right thing.
I know you don't believe that, man. I'm at what's end with this dude, man. I don't get it. It's when I saw, like I said, I gotta watch it. You have to watch it, and then sometimes I gotta see what Fox News is saying to say how they gonna spend this, and then they happen to.
They spend it.
I'm like, oh my God, how do you? I would have never thought of that.
They spend you make you think you're a different race. They spend it to make you think.
They spend your eyebrow,
right. You be dizzy as hell.
Oh my God, you walk out goofy.
Right. Do you been drinking? No, man. I just watching the news.
I'm just a drunk turd now.
It'll spin. You got Kellyanne Conway asking what your ethnicity is.
Talking about where you born?
What's your ethnicity?
Yeah, what's your ethnicity?
What? For real? Are you serious?
I think you really did pee on her head.
She looked just like one of the Beavis and Butthead people, man. Like, That's uncanny. She looked like the cartoon characters. Which one she looked like?
His sons look
Beavis
and Butthead. They
Butthead.
look just like Beavis and Butthead. And one of his sons.
But Kellyanne Conway looked like one of the motherfuckers too. You ever seen her?
They said his son. Well, I seen his son wants to run for New York mayor. I think New York should make him run.
75% of New York don't even like that.
They should make him run fast. Beat his
out
ass.
of New York, right?
Yeah. He just had that look that you just want to walk on, just
Right.
bam.
Right. He got resting dickhead face.
I mean, it would be nice. I wish they had the JFK Jr. syndrome. John, little John. He was cool. I was watching some on him. That was 20 years ago when he died in that plane crash. Over when he was. There's no way. Okay, there's another question. Would you fly with me if I had a plane? If I knew how to fly a plane? He had 300 hours. He convinced his wife.
What kind of plane?
It was one of those little Cessna, Saratoga, whatever, little baby plane. You wind them up, they go. But he convinced his wife.
If you crash, you gonna hurt that motherfucker.
He convinced his wife and sister-in-law to go with him.
I want something that at least has the possibility of just ending it instantly.
But he was, it did. There was 200 miles an hour.
You felt everything on the way down.
The anticipation of dying.
If it blew up,
yeah,
it's just gonna burn you real bad.
But my point being that he was a very nice young man. I mean, he was. All the Kennedys, to a certain extent, yes, they did some dirty shit back in the day, but they wasn't half as bad as some of the other people that got their money, what have you. Because when you bought into money, you could be real.
A crook is a crook.
Exactly, but he wasn't a crook. I don't think he was a crook. From all the indications, from all the history stories on him.
Did he tell on his daddy for moonshine?
I don't think his daddy was from moonshine. I think that was his daddy.
Kennedy?
I think that was his granddaddy was moonshine.
Right? Did he tell him? Did he bust out the?
I don't know in my room.
He complicit. Did he benefit from the money? He's a criminal.
Yeah, you don't you give no wiggle room.
He's a criminal.
I was just trying to make it the comparison.
If he ain't go on record and tell the family secrets, he was a criminal too.
I'm not talking.
I ain't mad at you. I'm just saying.
My point being,
let's call it what it is.
That's when America was great.
Right.
I mean, he was it's just amazing how far the bar has gone.
There ain't no bar no more.
It's every day there's something new, isn't it?
Ain't no bar no more.
Yeah, but we're gonna keep on pushing though, man. Straight up. I'm not gonna let it. Like I said, I gotta watch it and I gotta talk about it and I gotta be able to talk about it so we could,
Ain't no bar no more.
So we can keep sane, so to speak, And I want to know what the hell I'm talking about. I will listen. I'm not. It's not my way to highway. We pose the question: can you still be friends with someone that's just a diehard? That's a legitimate. That's legitimate. No,
I can't do it. Not no more.
I can't do it. It just depends on who it is with me. I will hold a conversation. We ain't going out for drinks. You ain't invited to the house, and I got too much Obama stuff over here.
No, I can't do it because to me, if you still support Trump at this point, when the revolution does happen, I know what side you're gonna be on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you finding out my strategies and shit, plans I got or whatever.
I see tomorrow has this.
Right. Over there just counter plotting and shit. No, I can't. No, I can't fuck with you.
But it ain't gonna stop me from moving forward amicably and try to make the best I can with what I'm doing in my life.
Absolutely.
I have a good life. I enjoy my wife. I enjoy my daughters. I enjoy this podcast. I enjoy our friendship. I enjoy what's coming in the near future for you with your project. And I'm not just trying to talk about it. I'm trying to be about it. I help black businesses. I try to help out people that I think needs help as far as they got ideas. But it takes, we got to help each other out, especially now.
Yeah,
it's not a black-white thing. We got to first find unity in ourselves. And, what I was saying last week about going to this concert, it wasn't about the concert. It was about brotherhood, hanging out, having a good time, just being cool, something positive, shit we need, get your mind off this bullshit we just talked about for the past hour,
I don't even know when I've been.
Because we didn't talk about that.
Able to do that.
We ain't been bowling in a minute. It's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
But when we go bowl, we don't talk about none of this shit. We just out doing our thing,
True. But I mean, like, out of the state, relaxed type shit. It's been a while.
We'll go to Cedar Point. That's not that far away. 2.5.
I don't like Cedar. That's like Disneyland light.
You don't do roller coasters, huh?
Oh yes, I do.
When was the last time you been to Cedar Point?
Well, I went to Disneyland 2.
Let me tell you, Disneyland ain't shit compared to Cedar Point. Man, Disneyland's for the kids. Disneyland don't have no rides for kids, for grown-ups, dude. You see how your mouth open right now? Man, they have
not Disneyland, Disney World. We was
same thing.
World. Man, you ain't been. Have you
okay?
They Transformers ride.
What
Transformers ride? Dog, that shit is off the chain.
That sounds like it's for a kid, though.
The Simpsons ride.
Sounds like a kid.
Oh
shit.
my God! You call the kid.
When's the last time you been to Cedar Point? 19 what?
My son was born in 98.
Cedar Point grew a lot since then, bro.
90,
they got some good roller coasters.
He born in 95.
It's a lot better than Disney World, Disneyland. They're all commercialized.
95.
They're all commercial. Before
94, 95. Right?
Dang, man, you didn't miss. You just that's the blue streak opened that year.
Yeah, that was true.
No,
that's true. I got pictures still. I still got a picture of that shit.
I just made that shit up.
That was Blue Thunder. It was Blue Thunder.
You making up roller coasters?
No, it was Blue Thunder. That's why I just went along with it.
Corkscrew.
But it was Blue Thunder. The Dragon came out that year. The Dragon.
Okay, good one. But they got a lot. They got a lot of roller coasters now. You would enjoy. So I just threw that shit out as a joke.
But I go back because I go back with education again. So the people who are working at these parks and the mechanics and stuff at these parks now,
engineers
between the ages of 25,
they just put the
35
button and they
years
can go
old.
around. They ain't actually putting the shit together.
Right, but somebody did, and they around that age.
Those are engineers.
And so that education would have taken place within the last 10 years. So this generation of educating, the educators educating these kids and the kids actually being educated has gone down substantially.
There's a lot of education words in that, man. You lost
the level of education has gone down. Would you agree?
I can agree with that.
Right. So,
of course.
So eventually that catches up in the marketplace. So
in some
and everything. Why do you think these planes fall out the sky?
In some demographics, in some areas. Trust me.
Come on, now.
Trust me. They still know who the IQs and all that. They know.
Come on, now.
Come on, man. That's why they had these private schools. They had these. My kids been in this since too.
There's only a small percentage of those.
There's a lot of percentage. I used to always. Can you imagine if it was up to us?
You actually want
can you imagine? Can you imagine if
it's a small percentage?
It's impressive what you do as far as knowing how you're editing with your movies and all that. But can you imagine having to invent that? How to do that? You know what I'm saying?
How numbers and
how
X's and O's work.
How people come through a television. Who thought of that shit?
Yeah, motherfuckers who wasn't getting no kind of pussy at all.
Trust me. Thank God for these no pussy getting motherfuckers. That's what I'm saying. So, with that said, there's still smart motherfuckers out there.
But
the generation,
that happened when there was no computers, no social media taking your attention away from.
So can you imagine now with all the technology?
That's what I'm
and a lot of our
about.
technology comes from other countries.
I read an article,
and those other countries come over here. That's where we have this melting pot for all these smart people.
Technology, letting your kids have tablets and smartphones, is making them more stupid. And I already believe I do that before.
It depends on what age you are with that.
No, because they don't have to think. It's taking away coping skills and interaction, social skills.
If you see a 6 or 7 year old getting on a computer and pulling up and downloading and doing something, that's impressive as fuck.
But that don't make them know how to interact with another human being.
You're thinking about two different things now.
Right.
You said they're not being smart or whatever.
Right.
That's impressive.
No, what I'm saying
to me, but you gotta.
That was a list of things.
That's up to the parent to make sure that child doesn't spend every waking moment. And me and my wife talked about.
Well, that's true.
Because our daughter, she's been spending a lot of time upstairs. Like when we're dealing with this podcast, me and my daughter going up to the school. We're practicing our soccer. Yes, I drank a beer, but I'm good. It's not real hot today. But we practice our cycle. We got to get them outside. I'm not talking about it. I'm trying to be about it.
If you spend a certain amount of time.
It only takes 20 minutes.
Right. No, I'm talking about a certain amount of time on the devices.
Yeah.
These were people who spent an excess amount of time. Okay. Kids who have spent an excess amount of time that they say that their intelligence level is lower than everybody. Yeah, I believe that.
Shit.
What?
Where we at? We had 2 days and how many minutes?
Tomorrow.
God damn. Hey, we appreciate everybody listening. I appreciate the conversation, man. You see how we do? We really do. We have a couple of things we have an idea to talk about.
This is the longest one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course it is. We had to do a little Snoop Dogg. We're still in the process of getting some intro music. We're still in the process of getting this really going, but the work you did last week, I commend you, my brother, and I appreciate it. You help me out, I help you out. That's how that shit works.
I appreciate it, man.
We both stay in our own lanes, so to speak. You know what I mean? So this has been a Just Thought podcast. I'm Fred Potter. We will check y'all out next time. Thanks for listening. Catch us on SoundCloud or on my Facebook page, Just a Thought.
YouTube.
JEST, YouTube. There's 2 pages now, YouTube. I don't know. But
it's just on one of the pages.
There you go. And you're going to see a gangly looking dude with a big nose and a big head. Look like I've been peeping in people's windows.
Got a sinister grin.
Yeah. That's all right, though. That's Fred Potter. See y'all next time. Deuces.
Peace.